Welcome in, MJ38 Show, number 131. Welcome back. Matthew and Justin here for you. We love you. Life is good because God is good all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
God is good.
Won't he do it?
Every time.
It's awesome.
Oh, it's hope. It's faith. It's based deep in our hearts. It's rooted in us to have hope.
Have hope for what? What am I hoping
Better
for?
future.
Oh, okay.
Positivity.
That sounds awesome.
Worthwhile expenditure of time and suffering.
What? Suffering.
You can make it worth it.
Yeah, let's just say
make it worth it.
the highest ideal you could pursue is worthwhile self-sacrifice or suffering. And it's all perspective.
Suffer beautifully.
Yeah.
Going through this life thing.
You can transcend the suffering.
But it's transcendence.
Anecdotally,
It can be.
when I'm in the sauna and it's too hot and I'm on minute 17, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? You're not close to being out. You got 3 minutes left. What are you supposed to do? There's sometimes I'm like, Jesus, take this pain out of my body. Just take the pain out of my body. Please carry it. Like, I can't carry this pain anymore. This suffering, this level of like, it's like, I can't hold it. Like, I can't hold it. And then hopefully I have signal in the sauna, so I'm playing Jesus Walks in the headphones.
Okay.
And dude, Jesus will just like take the pain out of my body and just hold it above me and just hold it for me. And then I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh, thank you. But I have to like stay with Jesus. I have to stay with him right there. Because if I leave the prayer, then the pain like comes back to me. Then just sit in this meditative place for like another, 180 seconds. That's real life. That's my testimony.
Transcend it. We can do that. We're going to pray on that. We're going to jump in, talking about culture, talking about spirituality, talking about lols.
What do we do it for?
What's going on here? Having a good time? Laughing about things? Laughter's a gift. Thank you for that gift. I'm going to pray first real quick.
Please.
Dear Heavenly Father, we want to take this time out of our existence to acknowledge you and thank you for the experience of this moment as it is, as you've created it. And then may we allow us to align ourselves with your optimum envisioned outcome for us in this story beyond our wildest comprehension, the idea of a pleasant surprise. Thank you for the enjoyment of the story, the ability for us to enjoy the story to any capacity, because it is a tragedy. But we overcome this tragedy through the blood of Jesus Christ, and may we use that in this moment to give light to your name and to speak with your intention on comedic humor and fun and goodwill. In Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
141.
Take someone's head off.
Yeah. Yo, I guess Black Ops 2. Back in the meta of life. Summer, we are back. 2026 will be the summer where we re-release Black Ops 2. It's going up. It's been out for a week or so. By the time this comes out, week plus. Is it going to take over? For real? Because I think as far as like numbers, I don't know. All I can really tell you, anecdotally, is like Twitch, I had seen that Black Ops 2 was more of a streamed game than a lot of other titles.
It's on, dude. It's up. It's up. Everybody on that. It hit the...
It's in the meta.
Whatever the virality thing is, where it becomes the thing.
Well, Warzone's back on top right now, I guess, at this current moment in the afternoon. But we'll see what happens over time.
Warzone is just a gift. Just a beautiful gift.
But Call of Duty Black Ops is currently at 14K. It's like live streamers. And Warzone's at 28K. But whenever I looked the other day, it was like reverse. Black Ops 2 was more. It was like 45,000 or something like that.
I believe it. I seen my homie who's like probably one of the best gamers that I know, who's never really on anymore. He's taking a break, living his life. I think he's engaged. He was on playing Black Ops 2. And I was like, that's what I'm saying. There's signs, I read that and I'm like, it's up. Black Ops 2 is up.
It's up.
And you come in and you're like,
the summer.
Number one most streamed game. I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it.
It wasn't
all
number
over
one,
mine.
but it was definitely over the other Call of Duties for sure.
Well, have you seen in the current Call of Duty, they have like the grapple hook is a thing now?
Yeah.
So, and then there's also like omnipresent movement. So, and then there's the like dolphin dive and slide cancel mechanic. So people like slide cancel everywhere they run, and you can like dive behind corners, but then you can go 360 degrees. So you can dive backwards out of windows and then grapple yourself back into the window and then like pull up on people and then stab them in the back and then have the animation for snapping their neck. It's insane. It's insane. Mind-blowing stuff. But then Black Ops 2 comes out and it's like a simpler Call of Duty, like you love, you know, before it got real crazy.
Yeah, the game speed became really crazy.
That's another reason why I think it's like kind of shot up in the metas, because our collective subconscious was craving that, you know. Still crave that. Call of Duty 4 was like the simplest, bro.
Modern Warfare 1 and 2 were bangers, dude, bangers.
There was a time when I was like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years after that happened, where on PC you could still play Call of Duty 4, and there were servers up and people playing. There's a lot of modded servers. It was crazy because it's like way later after the time it was popular. But people still were running Search and Destroy into oblivion. It was so fun. What a time.
Back in the meta.
We just recycle stuff.
Right? Toy Story 5.
We just recycle stuff.
They brought back already Modern Warfare, right? Modern Warfare.
Yeah, they did
before.
The whole, yeah.
4 and then like the second one too? Mod 2 or no? I know they've been the first one.
I think they brought back Mod 2 as well.
Probably.
It gets confusing.
The games are dope.
They just released Modern Warfare and then Black Ops 2 or Black Ops and then like rotate, but also do the throwbacks. So there is another Call of Duty coming out in August. That's going to have like the 360 omnipresent movement, main title, grapple hooks, space suits, stuff going insane.
Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, for sure. You get it super nutty. And it's fun. It's fun. If you wanted to freaking go ham, if you wanted to start a clan, bro, if you wanted...
It's a fun time.
Oh my
It's a fun social
gosh.
thing, you know? Hanging with your homies.
If I found out I had 4 weeks left to live, one of the options, just to set up the grindhouse and play Call of Duty with the clan for like 4 weeks. I'd have to think about it. I wouldn't ultimately do it, but I'd have to think about it because it's a fun way to live your life.
Yeah, dude. That was crazy. Or around this time is when, I think League play was introduced and associated with Black Ops 2. And then that was kind of a extra doorway into like the what is now streaming Call of Duty, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Or like the professional organization of sports, esports, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There were some people who were big on YouTube, and then pre-League play, there was game battles, and there was some people were just on game battles like anonymously, but then there was big players who were on game battles. And then there was Dr. Pepper tournaments where you would get invites from either being a popular player or from winning game battles tournaments. And then we had a friend, Derek, would go to those Dr. Pepper tournaments. But that's how like Scumpy and Nate Shot and people from that generation,
Yeah.
like our heroes, you know, I don't even know the new guys.
Yeah, right.
But that's how they became a rose to popularity pre-League play. But then League play was, and then some people didn't even care about League play. Like Nate Shot was like, League play's kind of dumb because I'm making money off YouTube, dog. But then ultimately, yeah, now it's like the streamers either do Warzone or do private lobbies or grind League play. And then there's this like subcategory of people who aren't popular but are nasty, and then they just express themselves through grinding League play and trying to be like a top ranked player. And that's pretty much where all your friends live, is in that place, usually getting their ass kicked on Warzone. Unless you want to grind hard with the dogs and then you get nasty. And during COVID, there was time to do that.
Getting nasty is a thing. Developing a neck. I've thought about that life, you know what I'm saying? Being like a streamer or being a... There was a time where like the Optic Gaming is like a professional esports branch of like, they have like a team, and they've had, I don't know, a lot of different expressions when players come through. But then there was a moment in time where they were doing like a 24-hour stream with the team of 4, so everyone was taking a 6-hour shift.
Okay.
And it's doing a 24-hour stream for, I forget how many times, like how many days,
Nice.
how long they did it, but it was I don't know, like during the, I think it was Modern Warfare 3, I want to say.
Okay.
After Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that time frame. But living that life, you know, just being a streamer.
Yeah, dude.
It's like a new aspiration that's grown in the last, 20 years.
You've seen the athletes on podcasts say like, dude, I gotta like not dissuade anybody who's pursuing that life, because the streamers come around and they got a lot of followers and a lot of money. That's a real come up. The percentage of people that make it into the NFL and the percentage of streamers that become popular streamers, I don't know what the difference. A lot of people like to think they're gonna go big in football, and they don't make it.
I'm going big in Modern Warfare. I'm going big in Call of Duty.
It's just such a thing. You can do that with your life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if these streamers like their life. That's what I'm trying to get to. Like Kai Cenat and people who's at the top, And then it's hard. It's like you look at the top and you can't ever really think like I will be up there. It's like that's kind of like lightning in a bottle, You gotta try to shoot for the stars, but like also, where's your space? Where are you gonna make your bread?
There's something designed for you.
Right? Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's and you can adapt to what's working and what's popular and stuff like that. But
what you're good at,
like Speed, like I think both of Speed and Kai Cenat took a break from streaming. And I just read that as like, yeah, it's probably not very fun to do that all the time every day. Also, what are you doing? You're just having like, all right, people get home and they watch TV. But instead of watching TV, they turn it on to you, and you're like, all right, today we got Drewski coming over, and we're gonna do pranks on this person, and then they just like watch you. That's what happens? I don't know, man. I guess Call of Duty streams are way cooler.
There's like the competitive aspect, you know what I'm saying? Even at these tournaments, these people are going up, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like as excited as people get whenever you're watching like a soccer match in the World Cup or you're watching like the Super Bowl. People get hyped. You know what I'm saying? There's like moments that happen. There's story that is created throughout these interactions and competitive hierarchy.
Crazy stuff happens.
Yeah. It's the narrative. Yeah. It's like things that, yeah, just whatever the limitations of this game are, like something relatively impossible due to the limitations at hand are going to take over, but then something overcomes that. And we're like, yeah. Like someone gets like a triple kill or like a big, like a quad feed that it's like clears a hard point or something crazy.
Yeah.
The stadium erupts, dog.
Yeah. It's nuts.
It's nuts.
I get it, America. I'm like, hold on, we're gonna care about this. Like, question mark. Like, if everyone in this room decides that we're gonna really care out loud about this game, that was nuts. Like, yeah, I'd go up too. You just don't really find that environment. But the e-games environment's really like that.
Winning championships.
It gets crazy. I played a couple games of like 2 different sessions of Valorant with my sister, and then that's just search and destroy. That's like the only game mode, and they play 13 rounds, and it's like, or I guess first to 13 round wins, and then at 8 rounds in, you switch sides from offense to defense, and it's a 5-on-5 every time. And it gets freaking crazy, dude. There's times where it's like 2-on-5, and then 2 people get double kills, and then now it's a 2-on-1, and you're like, dude, that was nutty.
That was huge.
That was huge, guys.
That was huge.
Like
huge interactions here, boys. Huge interactions. Huge kills here.
Yeah, not being excited about that is crazy,
2 double. Yeah, dog. No, that's you're getting hyped.
For sure.
Buckets.
For sure.
Dunking on somebody.
That game's crazy because it's like imagine Overwatch, how like everyone has abilities, right? And then so it's like that, but it's 5-on-5 search and destroy. So there's like duelists are like people who are offensive oriented, and then there's support, which are like healers more or less, and then there's like defensive oriented people who have like traps and like can set up like little robots that shoot bullets at people that don't do a lot of damage, but it alerts you on when people are on site and stuff like that. So you get like a team balance of like, an ideal outcome. And it's fun, bro. So crazy stuff happens because there's that extra added constraint of like what your abilities are and what situation you're in.
And what's the objective? Is it like a plant a bomb, defuse a bomb?
Yeah, there's 2 sites for the most part. Sometimes there's 3 sites, but usually just 2 sites. Then offense has to pick up the bomb and then escort the bomb carrier to bomb site and then plant bomb. And then if they get that off, then there's like a 45-second timer for the defensive team to then either clear or defuse. Yeah. And then like the bomb makes a noise whenever you pick it up and put it down, like search and destroy. And yeah, that's pretty much all the constraints.
Yeah, search and destroy.
Yeah.
1 life, you die, you're out.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. So it gets really crazy. Sometimes it's like you're the last one left and there's 3 people left and they just planted bomb and everyone's watching you and you're like, all right, I gotta go crazy.
Here we go.
9 times out of 10 I play offensive oriented characters, so I'm like excited, and that's like I'm cool with that. My guy has flashes, so he can like flash around corners. But there's other people, like there's one lady who like gets a kill, then she can heal off of that kill. And you have 100 health and like 50 shield. So, but she can heal back to full health, and then she's like still cooking. People have different stuff. It's fun, bro. It's like Call of Duty, but it's not Call of Duty.
Yeah.
They're all a freaking vacuum, dude. Joe Rogan's talking about Doom. He's like, I freaking lock in for Doom. They're all a vacuum. It's fun, dude.
Uh-huh.
But I'm just off. I'm out of that. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
My friend Derek will say, I'm out. I'm out, bro.
I'm out.
Sometimes he'll just turn off the game.
I'm out.
Throw an interception. I'm out. Yeah. Derek has disconnected.
Later, dog.
Yeah, I love that guy. Because that's a meme in my head now. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out.
Done. I promise you, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah. So that's how I feel about games right now.
Unplugging the Xbox from the internet. I'm done with Xbox in general talk.
Oh man, dude, I remember just being a kid and one of the first times I ever engaged with Xbox Live. You got an Xbox and your mom got your Xbox Live. And that was like, whoa. I remember going to my parents and be like, Justin got an Xbox with Xbox Live. It was an Xbox 360. Because I had an Xbox, but you had the 360. And then that had Live. And then like you like showed it to me, explained it to me. Can play online. Gears of War. Boom. I was like, that's nutty for an Xbox. I've done that on PC, and doing that on Xbox is crazy. Then we go to hang out another time, and you're like, all right, check this out. And you hand me the controller, and I think you hand me the mic, and I put it on, and the lobby was going insane.
How so? How is this lobby going insane, my friend?
Oh, it's not good podcast material. It's stuff that'll get you pulled out of YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Like people are screaming. People are screaming. It's like ninja, 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 ninja. Just right as I put it on, I'm like, yo. It's
God.
your mom's stuff. It's
your mom's house.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
God. Different level.
And then back then there was stuff to like when the game would start loading, the lobby would go muted so you couldn't hear anybody, and then it'd just be silent. And like, I got a break from that for a second. Super toxic. People just screaming. It was like the first time you're just in your house and you have a controller, and then all of a sudden Xbox Live comes out and you can connect to just like you just press a button and you're in a lobby. And then you can get a microphone. You probably have a microphone. Probably came with Derek's. You just plug this in. And now you can talk to like 20 other random people with like no consequences. Kids were going insane. Didn't know what to do with that power. It's too much power.
Crazy. Sheesh. That was Xbox 360 days.
It was really hard to get people to lock. That was Call of Duty 4. It was hard to get people to lock in and be like, hey, let's like care right now and try to win this search. I got A. Who's going to A with me? You know, people are like, shut the fuck up. This guy, you listen to this guy, he wants to try. There'd be a lot of lobbies like that. If you were going to stream, what's an ideal stream for you? Like, what's worthy of your time? What's worthy of a stream?
That's a good question. I love me some RuneScape. Love me some. I guess I'm not out. Sports games I'm not really into. Would you lean sports games?
No, I like Madden and I like FIFA.
Maybe Call of Duty. You know,
I would stream Call of Duty with you, or like that would be a fun way to stream. I agree.
Right.
FIFA would be fun to stream if we wanted to. I see like one FIFA streamer who grinds. That's what I'm trying to get to. Is like the streaming your grind or streaming like a run. That's fun, you know. But he streams like competitive FIFA squad matches. So he's got like 11 people playing the 11 positions.
Okay.
Yeah, like 11 on 11.
For real?
Yeah.
22 people deep?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they'll have like $500 tournaments. And then he's like streaming those. But his team gets usually third or fourth. But the plays that they make sometimes are crazy. And then, yeah, they're all in the headset, the Discord lobby together. And yeah, it's going nuts. They get like a stop and then they're in transition. And then get a nice lob pass. And then pass across the net. And then a good finish. And they're like, Golazo! Going crazy.
Going nuts. Dude, yes, that would be...
That's a cool stream.
Just the heroic story played out, you know, being the hero of the moment. It's like the odds are against us, then we do the thing. You do the thing. The victory.
Yeah. I think
We love that. See, oh, come on.
the only thing I would want to stream probably honestly is us grinding like either the ranked play ladder or like a tournament, like something where we're locked in and we like really care and it's on, you know? And then trying to play at the highest level. I feel like that's interesting, you know? Like when you turn it on and Optic is like, push right, and they're like top window, and they like have all the call outs and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they play real unified. You're like, oh shit, they're playing, bro. That's nuts, bro. I'm trying to play like that, bro.
They're hooping.
They're locked in for sure. That's fun. It's also fun if you just have all the guys on the stream. Like if we were 4 deep on ranked play, just like having everybody's energy there. It's like a podcast. We're all just chilling.
Mm-hmm. Common objective. Games, we love them. It's fun. We love it. Black Ops 2, back in the market, back in the meta. We're just deciding as a culture, like, yeah, let's just throw this back in there. I don't know. Do you think it'll stick?
No. The Call of Duty's gonna come out in August. It'll be gone by then for sure.
Yeah, we'll see what happens by then. What's this new one called? Do you know?
I think it's Black Ops 4.
Is it Black Ops? What? I think it's like Black Ops 8.
Is it 8?
I think 7's out right now.
I think that it's titled like Black Ops blah 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 4 or something. Because they'll like go backwards and you know.
I have no idea anymore. I haven't kept up with that one in a while, but I saw that was back in the meta.
It might be Advanced Warfare 4. I don't know.
Who knows? It's okay.
But yeah, that one's gonna take over for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. Usually they come out in like the fall time,
and that'll pop for a little bit, and then it'll be back to Fortnite or whatever. It's a dumb meta. The PC games are a dumb meta. The 007 games looks good. It's fun to make some single player games. Skyrim went crazy. People are still streaming Skyrim.
Certain games that just go off.
Other thing we were talking about, Wembanyama taking a pay cut to stay with, to add talent.
Wemby, my guy. He's still getting paid, bro. He's getting over like 5 years, whatever.
Oh yeah,
like 250, 260, pulling in some money. But he could be in that same span of time making instead like 300 plus. You know, so taking 50 million, whatever, or so, less dollars. So these Spurs have $50 million to spend on other players' contracts. And make sure they keep a strong team. Because he want the chip, dog.
Good.
That's like Larry Bird energy. We're talking about that. The Bird Law or whatever. This is like a contractual term that's been established in the NBA because of Larry Bird, who chose to take less money and some sort of willingness in contradiction to his contract just so they can have more money for a strong core.
Yeah.
And to make some, a legacy. Get some chips going, dog. And Wemby wants a chip with it, dog. I respect that.
Yes.
It makes so much sense to me.
At that point, he literally has 2 choices. It's like demand the most money for money's sake, or keep them out.
Once you get past 250, what are we talking about? 250 should be fine. We're talking about $1 million. You get $1 million. What are you going to do? How are you going to change your life?
Yeah, well,
it's possible.
$1 million. I mean, you still got to generate more money if you have $1 million. If you have like a certain amount of money, maybe your money can generate money. Are you trying to buy a house for you or for like and your parents? Or like you trying to retire your parents? Or like, how much money do they need? How extravagant of a lifestyle does Wemby's parents deserve? It starts getting, there's, I understand 250, I guess. It's a big number.
It's a big one.
Yeah, for sure. That's a lot.
250 versus 300 and you get a chip.
Yeah, for sure.
It's I'd rather take 250 and the chip.
I'm happy he's that kind of guy.
Yeah, come on, man. That's dope.
Thank goodness he's not addicted to buying cars. They're talking about Floyd Mayweather's like out of money.
What?
Joe Rogan said Floyd Mayweather.
This is a recent podcast.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
That's rough.
It's unfortunate.
He's Floyd Money Mayweather. But he also had like 50 Rolexes. and like
Well, that's a little much.
20 cars.
That's a little much.
I got a new Rolls Royce.
Yes.
Have you seen the Phantom? I got the Ghost and the Phantom. And I'm getting the Spectre next. Let's go get the Spectre. Fuck it, let's go. That was his life. Too much. Joe Rogan said he should have. At a point in time, he had enough money to be all right.
If he had 250 million, then he definitely had enough. You know what I'm saying? I think potentially over the course of 5 years.
Realistically, bro, you don't got to get that crazy with it. You don't got to get that crazy with it.
Money comes and goes, but championships are forever.
There you go.
That's a legacy.
That's really it too. I mean, if you want to care about that, it's the same thing as Call of Duty. It's like, what do you care about? What do you care about?
Yeah, how much are you willing to sacrifice?
Yeah.
Sacrifice my life to the game.
Wimby situation is cool because like they're asking him to be him. It's like be a dominant force, get the rebounds, be a facilitator.
Do the thing.
Yeah.
Be a freak. Go crazy, kid.
Just train and give your
go
best.
Nuts.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I want to go nuts.
His life is cool.
All right, cool. Let's go. Let's go nuts.
Let's go.
Let's win some chips. Let's bring some chips to the city. I'm talking 4, 5, maybe 6.
Justin wants a dynasty.
7.
Justin wants to be part of a dynasty.
7 in the next 10 years.
I saw a comment on one of our podcast clips said, "What dynasty? There ain't no dynasty yet. Y'all haven't even won a chip yet."
I was like, give me 10 years, dog.
Justin wants a dynasty. He's thinking in decades.
I'm thinking decades, dog.
I'm gonna write that down for later.
How many do you think they're gonna win? I think at least 3 or 4. And that's being modest. In the next 10 years, I think it's possible. Very possible.
He said 3 or 4 is modest. He believes in the squad.
3 or 4 is
4 is like the most
Victor
ideal.
believes with me. You feel me?
Yeah. Lay it on the line, fella.
I think they can get more than that.
They gotta.
If everything stays healthy.
Yeah.
And everyone's self-sacrificing to the
Prepare
proper ideals and aiming up.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually do it, guys.
Get in that gym.
Be real, be honest. Let's work. Let's win a chip, dog. Let's win a ring, dog. Y'all want to win a ring? Let's win a ring. We were right there.
Preach that gospel.
We needed 3 more games, and we were leading every game. There was no reason we should have lost the finals. Like, if we go back and do it right, how easily should we have like been in that game? We gave away game 2, gave away game 3 after the biggest upset literally in history.
Blew it.
That's 2 games that we should have had in our pocket. We should be going back home 3-1. We're finishing it at home. What's wrong with us? Let's fix that. If we truly want to fix that, we can fix that. If we fix that, we can just keep doing that.
Oh,
keep doing that.
Get this guy in the locker room, bro. Yeah, I believe with you. Yeah, let's go.
We can do it. For real. There's not a doubt in my mind. 3 or 4 is modest. And Wemby's like, yeah, nodding to that. He's like, I'm willing to take less money. I don't care. We can do it over there. And if money's a problem, it's like, I don't need it.
Yeah. Good on him.
I'd rather care about this.
Good on him, for sure. He should have 200 in a fucking Swiss bank account. No one's touching, bro. 200 M's, bro. Just, you can cook with your 50, bro.
He's whims,
and it's something like 50 mil a year, you know what I'm saying? It's not all at one time, but 50 mil a year is nice, dude. You're good.
It's like $1 million a week.
Dude.
Just about.
That's okay. Okay, Hollywood. Like, goddamn, bro. Sorry, praise God. But, like, bro, you're a walking mill, bro. You're a walking mill. Every time you see that guy, he just made $1 million. Every time you see him.
Every Friday. $1 million.
Yo, it's nutty, bro.
Like, whew, that's a different kind of life. So yeah, I don't really care about having an extra 50 million.
And just bury the money anyways, dude. You're fine, dude. You're a young kid, bro. I'm more worried about if you're eating your freaking sweet potatoes, dude. Like, keep it simple, you know?
Get in the gym, young buck, put on some weight.
Work your ass off.
If you put on another like 10, 15 pounds this summer, you know?
Do some wholesome shit, bro. Do some it feels
5
like
to 10 pounds.
You know what I'm saying?
At least.
Get to bed early, bro. Go read a book every now and then, you know? Like,
I think he's on that. He's on that.
Yeah.
He be meditating. He be coming out with the monks.
Yeah, bro. Go bowling with the players, you know? Meet up and do some wholesome stuff. Really bond.
They can fix it. They can be a dynasty. How we get there? We're talking about basketball.
We're talking about money. We're talking about how much $1 million a week would definitely be okay. What's that price point you're trying to get to where you feel like everything's okay? Thing is, everything's okay all the time. Situations are outside your control. Situations are like narratives.
The limitations are limitations.
And they change. They change. These narratives change.
Story changes.
It changes.
Seasons change. But we have all the control and none of the control at the same time. It's a whole thing. It's a whole ordeal we got dealing on with, so we're all dealing with here.
My narrative
Wimby
changed
dog.
on a dime the other day. I turn onto the access road for the highway, make a U-turn, and get ready to pull into a Starbucks. And like, there's a cop with his lights on, and I'm like changing lanes. And I'm like, well, and then I turn into the Starbucks, and I'm like, hope this not for me. And then he turned into Starbucks, and I was like, oh, that might be for me. And then I park at the Starbucks, and this guy just gets out and meets me at my window, and I was like, oh, it's definitely for me.
No.
I'm like, hey, officer, how you doing? And, anytime you're getting pulled over, it's kind of like, it's a whole thing,
Unfortunate circumstance. Turn off the vehicle. That's what I did.
I did.
Yeah.
Windows down, vehicle off. I'm chilling. I'm like, hey, man, how you doing? He's like, good. I pulled you over. Or I don't even think he says that. And then he's just like, I pulled you over because your registration is like expired. And on my window it says 625, but it's up to date through 626. And then I had started the process of getting it renewed, and then just like left it on my computer, and then paid some other bills, and then was gonna get around to doing that this week because it expired like 10 days ago. And I tell him that, I'm like, yeah, man, sorry, I just paid like rent and daycare, and like I'm working this weekend. I got my uniform right there, and I was just gonna work this weekend and then use that money and then pay for this. But yeah, I was hoping I can wiggle out another week, but now you got me. So, but ultimately, like, thank you for keeping the streets safe. Like, I get it. And then the cop's just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna write you a warning, and then wrote me a warning and was like, yeah, just like do that. And also, if you like, they don't send it to you in the mail again, just take a picture of your license plate and then go into the tax assessor's office, and then they'll print you out a ticket or print you out a sticker. And I was like, okay, nice, thank you. The tax assessor's office on Nacogdoches? And he's like, yes. And I was like, all right, bet, appreciate you, thank you so much. It's like freaking so nice, bro. And I get some Starbucks, and I come back out and then hit the access road. And then this dude just has another guy pulled over right there. And I was like, this guy's just eating right now.
The same guy?
Yeah.
Same cop. Pulling somebody else.
For sure. He was like walking outside his car. I was like, he's like in his 60s, had gray hair. He was real chill. Real chill for me. I don't know if that's white privilege or what, but that shit was... I was so happy, bro. I was like, oh my gosh. Thank you, sir. Then the next day, I'm getting home from daycare, exit access road. This is all like right here in Hollywood Park, right? But last time I got a ticket, it was in Hollywood Park. Like, it's like the Hollywood Park Police Department. They'll just eat, bro. They just go off sometimes, I guess. See this kid exiting, turning onto my road in Chick-fil-A parking lot. The same guy's got another guy pulled over, and I'm like, I wonder if it's the same guy. And I look, and I see the same guy walking to his car, and I was like, yo, this guy's meeting a quota or some shit, bro. For real, bro.
Yeah, dog. That's
yeah, I had an optimum outcome. I was thankful for sure.
License registration. The whole thing, bro.
Bruh, yeah, it was sick.
On both sides, too.
I was pretty fast with it. I had the license. I'm like, here you go. And then my Geico app loaded so fast. I was like, nice. Here you go. He was like, oh, all right, bet. Bet. So that was clutch. That was cool.
Yeah, dog.
When it was over, I was like, phew.
Dude, life stories, narratives be playing out. There was this story time relevant story I had, the connections I was making, because it was heading to, I don't know, like a Tuesday, heading to take a little one to like a volleyball clinic. And then I'm going, and my GPS is telling me to go this certain direction that like meets at the same road, or like so I guess on 281 or whatever. There's like two routes to get there. more or less. And then it's telling me to go on the alternative route other than what I usually go on. And the last time I went down there was like a train that we hit. So that's like a definitely negative aspect of going on Route 2. But I guess GPS thinks it's faster for some reason. I don't know, whatever. Either way, I'm taking Route 2 again, even though I was like aware that I was potentially just like wrong information to follow the GPS.
Okay.
And I took it, and then I went, and then we hit another train. And I was like, oh my gosh, here we go, the train.
Oh my goodness.
But then the train comes and it goes, and it's gone in like 30 seconds. I'm
Okay.
like, okay, it's not bad.
Ideal train outcome.
Yeah. And then the crossbar stayed down for like another 30 seconds. And I'm like, what's going on? Another train comes from the other direction.
Oh no.
I'm like, yo, the double train.
The double train is filthy work.
You gotta be kicked. You gotta be. No, dog. I don't accept this. And then it's longer for sure. It's like probably like 2 or 3 minutes long, 4 minutes long, plus. And then it gets to a point to where it's getting towards like I could see the end. I literally see the end of it, and then it like just is getting slower, and then it just stops.
Oh, no.
Right on the tracks.
Oh no.
And stays in such
you
for
leaving
like
right
6
now?
or 7 minutes.
Where are you leaving?
Just my house.
To go to where?
Heading to a volleyball clinic.
Oh no. Is this making you late?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We're gonna be 5 minutes early.
Oh,
It starts
no.
at 5, and it's like, yeah, it makes us like 20 plus minutes late.
Oh no. Oh no.
That's
a sauna, dude.
It was a rough one. It was a rough one, just sitting there watching the double train come to a complete stop and just sit there for 6 plus 7 plus minutes. I was just like, well, and I'm like in the very, very front, so I can't even particularly, like, people have backed out behind me, but there's still someone behind me. And if he starts to move backwards, then like we can both navigate out. And then like there's other people already turning around. And eventually I was put it in reverse. I'm like hinting, and then like we all,
Wow.
the top 3 people, me and the person next to me and the person behind me.
You all wiggle out of there.
Yeah, we wiggled out.
Gave up on the route.
I'm done with the route. I was like, dude, if it hits another minute, I gotta go. I gotta go.
You ever be in traffic and you're like, it gets to a point where if I don't get into the other lane, I'm an idiot. Like
I missed it. There it goes. Came and went.
Yeah, this is like a stupid test. What if this is an hour of this train, you know? At what minute mark am I dumb for staying here?
You know, dog, I don't know. I'd rather take my chances elsewhere. Like I could see the end of it. Like we used to drive past it and then get over.
Yeah.
It was like the last 3 or 4 cars. Oh goodness.
Yeah, there's like a science test where it's like they ask you like 4 or 5 questions, and then like on the 6th question they like not prepare for the 6th question, and then they don't ask you a question, and then they like time how long it takes for you to be like, what's going on, you know? And then there's like an ideal time. Like if you're too short to get to that time, or if you're too long after that time. Both of those are like, I guess, an unideal timing in this situation for like a natural human response. And so but also just like speaks to your like temperament or your character or whatever. But yeah, I think about that sometimes. It's like if you knock on a door, like how long are you supposed to wait at that door before like you either knock again or you leave the door?
Mm-hmm.
Like that knock dissipates after a while, and then you're just standing in front of a door, you know? So yeah, but what if you know they're there too? You know what I'm saying? Like that's different, but the train is one.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm in traffic and then the left lane is going so fast, but like, or like you'll be in the left lane, but the middle lane is going really fast. But you know the middle lane's not the fast lane. But that's like 2 solid minutes of them going faster than me, you know?
Yeah. This is what we're doing here, bro.
Gotta catch that salmon ladder.
Just hopping between the streams.
Yeah.
Not radically, of course, but you know, there's like streams that are going a little faster at some points.
Yeah, for sure. I'm like trying to wiggle. Trying to get where we gotta go.
We're moving.
I'd like to be early enough I don't have to wiggle. Just like, yeah, I don't care.
Try to be a little early, you know?
I ain't always like that.
Oh, come on. Try to be a little early to places. That's good.
That's ideal.
Right. Or on time is obviously more ideal.
I think I was watching this thing. There's Florida's Gator time. So everyone has to be 10 minutes early everywhere if you're on the football team. Because they're on Gator time off. For real. Like, that's hard.
That's time dilation, baby.
Dude. Tell them about it.
Tell them about it.
Have you heard? I think I told you about the CERN particle accelerator.
Yeah, I remember there were some implications here.
Did I talk about this on the podcast?
No, I don't believe so. You told me on the phone, I think.
So the CERN particle accelerator is this like lab where they built this giant like mile long metal underground structure where they like it's tunnels and loops where they smash atoms together and they're moving like faster than the speed of light. So the particle accelerators accelerate these particles and then they smash these particles together and then these particles like break apart into like subatoms like protons and neutrons and stuff like that. And then I guess like that process is also like akin to if we did like the Big Bang but in reverse and then got like right to the point right before the Big Bang would be like the thing it was before it banged, that like first particle break.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're able to like observe through this smashing of the atoms is like right there.
Reciprocal?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then that tells us like stuff. Like we can then predict stuff about other stuff because we have that stuff is like I guess why we were doing that. But then like these goofy people or like silly people on the internet or whatever, these woo-woo people were saying that smashing atoms is like not good for reality.
Okay.
That like maybe we shouldn't be doing that, like the Big Bang like created reality.
Yeah, let's try to find out the God particle, or like the Higgs boson, I think, or whatever. Try to figure out what comes out whenever you smash those things.
I guess
what's
so.
produced.
Some
Science. In the name of science.
These scientists made nuclear bombs, so like I don't know what they're doing.
What are you doing with your life?
Exactly. They
Come
don't.
on.
I don't. Yeah.
Hit the gym, dork. What are you doing?
These are the group of people. These are dangerous people. There's a whole thing where
What
it's
are you
like,
aiming at? What you aiming at?
that's what. It
But
always
dangerous,
comes
yeah,
down
for
to.
sure. It is dangerous.
Maybe I don't know. Sometimes
Potentially, I guess. Yeah, I don't know either.
I think that the people are like they know how to do crazy stuff. Like they could like they can make nukes and Lord knows what smashing atoms really does.
Nukes are dangerous.
Yeah, for sure. Anybody that just like could make a nuke is pretty, and like the
That's
Nazis.
Heisenberg.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then he's like, I'll show you how dangerous this kind of knowledge can be, So that's all I'm saying is that it's a lot of Heisenbergs. And literally, yeah, the Nazi scientists, we're like, hey, you guys are really smart. If you don't want to go to jail for stuff, you can come work in like the NASA program. We took a lot of those people, Operation Paperclip, because they're really smart. Hey, those people making bombs for us.
Good ideas are good ideas.
Hitler thought he had good ideas.
Right? Yeah. Then who's to determine what's a good idea?
It's hard because it's like basically you're pardoning them because it's like, well, it's not your fault you guys were in Germany. Like, if you had been born here, you'd also be doing it for us. It's like, it's a very gray area for how many Jewish people died, Yeah. A lot of people would say not cool. But regardless.
Not cool.
I'm just talking about how smart these people are, how crazy science is.
Yeah.
So here's the woo-woo part.
Where's the woo-woo with this particle acceleration, smashing things together?
I've tried to...
whatever's going on in this place. They're stopping this, or
they just stopped. This is where it gets hard for me. I practiced telling this story a few times in my mind. This is where it gets hard for me because ultimately these people in the woo-woo sector think that smashing these atoms together might potentially push us into parallel realities where, like, for instance, more of the Berenstein Bear stuff might continue to happen where, like, maybe Donald Trump getting into politics or getting elected felt like an alternate reality thing, or like when he almost got assassinated but didn't get assassinated feels like an alternative reality thing. Joe Rogan says that Elon Musk buying Twitter felt like a alternative reality thing, where it's like things that would be dramatic and possible in a parallel reality, but aren't like on our radar as like predictable things that would happen here based on our current zeitgeist. Like we're slipping into like dramatic stuff having happened and having happening, like that is just like outside of what feels normal for us, like a given normalcy. That our matrix is starting to become more artificially inclined and produced because we're going into these other realities. It's like less organic and less natural. And then you're feeling that through like the AI presence and the technology increase, and like literally the people who have chips in their head. There's a paraplegic who has a chip in his head and he plays like Call of Duty with the chip in his head, and he just like aimbots with his eyes and he plays Call of Duty like that. Like right now. That's
I bet
crazy.
he's nasty.
Yeah, he is. He says he's like, it's kind of, I kind of cheat. Like it feels unfair. It's like I see you and then I shoot you. Like it's nuts. So, but all of that was kind of like maybe because we were slipping into like these more science fiction like timelines.
Based on slamming these particles together.
Okay, so like that's like yeah, that's like to root it back to that. It's like there's something about the frequency of our Earth or whatever, and also so like okay, the particles they're moving faster than the speed of light, but then our experience of time is like relative to our distance from the sun. So we're all relatively the same distance from the sun, but why our perception of time goes through that is really because it's like our distance traveled around the sun based on like our speed right now. So then when you're accelerating those particles really fast, they're experiencing time differently than the people who are controlling the acceleration of the particles are experiencing time because they're moving faster than the speed of light. So that would make like the 5 minutes that they're accelerating for them be really like they might experience an hour within the 5 minutes that we're experiencing for them. So that's where it gets like spooky. And it's the same thing with the astronauts, like in Interstellar, how he's like the same age when he comes back down, but for his daughter, she's like, 70 now.
Grandma.
Yeah, for sure. So that's like we're Matthew McConaugheying these particles in like a controlled setting, but then people for whatever reason are saying then like smashing those together, it's like literally the fabric of all of this stuff is that stuff, and then breaking one piece of that might be like breaking a mirror where it's like all of this has a connected result from you smashing those one or two atoms over there. I don't know exactly why they would think that that would happen, if that's some kind of deluded fantasy someone made up, or if there's like a scientific like line of thinking as to like some kind of proof out there that would like a law of thermodynamics type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
But they stopped. And so people
either way they stopped.
They stopped, yeah. It'd been going on for a while. Long enough that like, I don't know,
Something made them stop.
I think they were done. I think it's dangerous,
Like, well, we're done here.
Yeah.
Don't need anything else. No further questions. Mr. Universe Man.
And so it might have been a bunch of AI bots, or it might have been real people on Twitter and threads were saying that maybe hopefully because the CERN particle accelerator stopped smashing atoms together, we're going to feel a more organic reality come back into our perception. People were like, I miss how the air used to smell. I miss how sunsets used to feel. I miss when I think back at like 2003 and 2004, those days, those summer nights had like a tangible something you could perceive to them.
Is that childhood nostalgia?
I don't know.
Or is it real?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But that's what people were hoping would like, we could have more of like a reality that we can hug and hold. Like it was more of like I don't know. That our perception of maybe also that we were speeding up our perception of time while we were speeding up the particles of our matrix too was part of it. So that the days were kind of like slipping from us. So maybe your day can have more chunk to it.
But they stopped.
Evaluate this summer. Evaluate this season. Feel, you get
this happened like when? Like a month ago or so? Like recently?
A couple weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
I wonder if they're really going to stop though.
There's probably other labs.
Right? Someone else is probably doing it too.
Going crazy.
Russia's doing it. China's doing it. Someone's doing it. I don't know. Hypothetically here, someone else is probably doing it.
You're right.
Or it was ours? It was like our lab? Or was it an international lab? People doing this?
It was a lab in America.
Okay. Someone else is probably doing it.
You're right. It's bullshit. They're doing it regardless. It doesn't matter. Time dilation's on you.
Maybe there is some truth to that, though. Whenever you spoke of like the metaphor of the mirror, thinking about the idea of like having that fully restored and being an accurate representation, or like being able to have a reality that's more in accordance with the true reflection of like a good story. And if we're breaking that mirror, it's a little bit harder to do that as society.
Yeah.
Getting further from God.
Yeah.
Getting further from God. someone's trying to get us further from God. I feel like just on a narrative level here. It's evil itself exists, and it manifests in all kinds of ways.
Yeah. Dostoevsky spent his entire career ultimately summing up that, like, yeah, evil wants to grip in your life, and then it makes your life hell. And that's like, that's happening. You have to be careful.
And there's a war going on.
Yeah, that's what's going on. That's the context. And even when you're in a bad situation, you can make it more hell-like. That's also his big takeaway.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just because things are bad doesn't mean you should, like,
make them worse.
Exactly. Yeah. And he's one of the big thinkers of our fucking day. Whatever. I'm trying to figure out what Nietzsche's saying.
Bad things happen. Damn.
Here's the problem.
But don't make it worse.
Here's the problem. We can do that. We cannot make things worse. We can try. We can have each other's backs. We can lock in. We can talk every day. We can communicate. We can push. We can get the vibe going. We can be on the mission. We can handle problems. We can look dragons in the face. We can pay the worst punishments for our crimes. Just saying. Like, as far as absolving yourself of sin, like, we can get down on our knees and beg for forgiveness from Christ.
You're forgiven.
It's like we've got a pretty solid foundation for moving forward through this matrix and stuff like that. And I feel like most people feel that way about their life. But politics is like, it's just even hard to find a metaphor. It's like, what's going on? There's like a homeowners association, and then those people go and like have lunch and like decide how they're going to decide things with like the current rules. How can they change the rules? How can they bend the rules? And then how can they get what they want? Then how to decide what they want within the society of the homeowner association, people of power. And then you go to like a homeowner association meeting and you're like, what's going on here? And they're like, take down that fence. And you're like, why? And then they have like a bunch of reasons why and stuff like that. But that's like politics for like our entire nation of like everything, of like all of our corruption kind of comes out of that,
Hmm.
And we can't like, we live in the result of a lot of decisions, So to actually like have an impactful role in the war that's going on is very difficult. The pastor does an amazing job. He's helping a lot of people out. That's someone who has a pretty critical role in the war that's going on. A lot of times we should just be driving the golf cart, just helping.
Doing what you can, doing something. Yeah. Yeah. Not everybody's story's like that. I call it a ministry like that.
It's not even the context.
You are to a degree. What's that?
The Bible's just like, do your job. You know what I'm saying? Like, What do you always say? We're just shoemakers, or what is it? It's like, I'm just a blacksmith, though. But you have a different word for it.
I think I say blacksmith, maybe.
There's a funnier word for it.
Cobbler.
Just a cobbler, bro.
Just cobble, bro.
Just cobble, bro. Just cobble and be a good person. And then all of a sudden, God's like, go cast demons out. And you're supposed to be like, all right, bet,
Heard.
But you're a cobbler, bro. Like, Jesus was a carpenter.
Mm-hmm. You gotta do something there.
Yeah, bro. That's not be like
a story. There's a story
serving
going
people.
on.
Like, I'm just serving people, bro.
There's a story going on.
God calls me to a place. Then I'll go to that place and try to do that thing. But that's kind of like the whole Bible the whole time. It's like, it's not really like, people weren't evangelizing crazy like every day. Like, it was their job per se. Until Jesus died, then they were really out there, like, really trying to evangelize in the streets and stuff like that.
They were going for it.
Yeah, for sure.
They were going for, bro, where's this? It's crazy. It's crazy. They were willing to go, like, do it for real, like that. There's a part, in Acts, I guess, after Jesus comes back, and then he departs. He's like, I guess where the book of Acts, like, kind of starts. And then Peter's just like, healing somebody in the name of Jesus Christ. Yeah. Like in chapter 3. You know what I'm saying? It's like, he's like, it was diff.
Yeah. Talk that talk, bro.
Even Peter was out here just like healing people.
Yeah, in the authority of Jesus Christ.
Yes. This is what's up.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, they converted just like thousands of people at a time. Going up.
walking with that.
There's a move of God going on in that similar direction right now, as far as just like big churches that are going on.
Yeah.
Or like Lake Point and CBC are like examples of two big churches in Texas that are going off and reaching like record numbers of attendance and growth. You know what I'm saying?
You're right, dude. It's a whole thing.
It's dope.
One thing about CBC, these places, it's a brand of Christianity. It is. But I think Christ is on the rise, like regardless, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's nice to have like a functional way to communicate with the Holy Spirit. And then these churches that have their brand of Christianity give you access. It's not like their job, and you don't need them to have access, but it's an access point for you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's nice. And they're serious about what they do. They care. Holy Spirit does dwell there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real spiritual place.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, you've been saying CBC's been killing it. The sermons have been killing it. I missed like the last 3 weeks just because my schedule's different now, but I've been going steady or watching steady for like 2 years, but I'm behind a little bit right now. But he said it's been killing it.
Yeah, it's dope. It's a dope series. It's really cool. But yeah, I think even like the Live Free podcast, which is hosted by the Lake Point Church, is super, super popular now. And it's like getting a lot of steam and growing almost like exponentially. But they, in the most recent one, we're talking about how the World Cup has been like a kind of prayer centric in some ways. A lot of the teams are praying before and after, or typically after. The U.S. and
the biggest moments of their life, dude.
And Germany and it was Germany again at Curacao, I think, and then the U.S. pretty sure in both their matches. And there's another rendition of it, or another expression of that as well. And we'll see what happens in the finals. But this is a super, I guess, like Christ sort of forward World Cup, or at least in those expressions and regards, as far as what players are choosing to do with their, with their person.
Yeah.
On like the biggest stage in the world, so it's like billions of people watching this, dog. Billions.
Nice. Jesus buckets.
It's
an Armageddon situation. Save these souls. Save these souls.
Someone's on the rise.
Save
here,
my
bro.
soul. It's
Save
happening.
our souls here. Too much of the mirror has been broken, bro. I need you to fix it.
It's happening for real.
Mm-hmm.
We get pulled out of this game at any time, I feel like. It's pretty rough out here for a pimp. A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, that was part of the plan. Maybe God put those people in certain positions and have the intellectual depth and knowledge and discipline and fortitude to develop thoughts that allow you to develop particle accelerators and to think about life at that deep of a level, and then to execute the slamming of the hyper accelerating of those particles that you found, those abstract concepts. So you're like, how did you even get all those thoughts? Where did this even come from? I mean, maybe we've broken enough pieces now to like initiate the comeback, dog. Don't call it a comeback, dog.
Yeah, I'd love that. I don't know if I want to like shatter our reality. Dad, we broke it. Can you come home, please?
He's broken from the beginning.
I'd like to go to heaven, please.
I can't put it back together. We can't put it back together.
I think there's something about we're supposed to be trying to have a good life here. Life can be good here. There's things better than good. There's things, the transformative nature of like being transformed is the thing. And transformed for what? I don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, the spirit of both Cain and Abel. Like you have the ability to make the proper sacrifice and it will be accepted. If it's like a truly proper sacrifice. And no matter what the outcome is, like if you know the truth of your sacrifice, then you don't have to worry.
That's heat.
You got faith in the covenant.
That's heat.
I'll offer my best, and my best will be enough.
That's heat.
And if I'm not offering my best, then I will adjust and try to figure it out.
That's heat.
It will be accepted. And then Abel's also, very real as well. Or Cain rather.
Dude, I'm saying, bro, it's a crazy spirit,
and it's a crazy one,
but
it's a good life.
Abel's like almost a lineage metaphor for Jesus Christ too.
Oh yeah.
So, and the thing about
Jesus took the proper. He is. That's it. That's the only possible sacrifice.
And Jesus is a promise too that like this. The messianic self-sacrificial highest ideal is like transcend it into like Jesus is resurrected, you know, and it's the victory, and like it's worthwhile, you know, it's worth it every time. So that's nice. It's like even though that the spirit of Cain exists, even if you were to self-sacrifice properly and then have the spirit of Cain come and attack you for it, it's like transcendent for the victory. That's you. If you were to ever get that far, if that's even possible for human beings to be able, like, it's very difficult. Super difficult, but you can do it.
Yeah,
you can do it. That's what this podcast is about. Is
you can do it. It's worth it.
Just try for a day. Just be like, I'm gonna spend today trying to like fucking get up on time, do the yoga, make the coffee, on time to work, crush, healthy lunch, crush. Then be on time for this, then bath time by this, lights out by this. So try hardest. One thing is, okay, yeah, so then this is where it gets to where I think we're actually talking about something we're talking about, right?
Here we go.
The time dilation stuff just speaks to, like, I think metaphysically, contextually, with your day, you are either like rushing or like on time or like early, but you can also be rushing to be early or being early out of anxiety. There's like a dance with your day and like your plan for the day or your schedule for the day. So then if you can have like a good plan for your day that's well adjusted and you're confident in it, on a subconscious level you're confident in it, then you can have good timing with your good plan and things are going your way. Then I think you can like kind of transcend above that to where you're in a different dimension, more or less, and your perception of time can be different there. Like your day can fly by because you're having like so much fun, or your day can really be dragging because of whatever emotions you feel contextually within your day. And a lot of that is like your perception, but it's hard to, because the vehicle for you to have perception is someone who is going through the day. It's hard to have the wherewithal to, that's why you need like the good plan and the good timing to not feel like you're rushing, or you're rushing to be early so you're not rushing, you know? Like, how do you just like be on good timing? But then here's the thing is that we're all frequencies, and then frequencies move in waves, but then waves can be measured in like timing. That's like music. So I think sometimes there is like a rhythm of the day, and then you can find the rhythm of the day. And then once you're in that place, like you can fly through it if you want to mentally. You can slow it down a little bit and like really like smell the roses and enjoy this moment, you know, like you're kind of in control. And that is a sweet spot. That's nice. And that relationship with life is good. Also, there's people who are 40 that don't look 40, you know? Is that just genetics?
I think now more so than ever, people are trending in that direction. Right? Like the same amount of 40 hasn't hit people the same way as it's hit in the last however many long decades have been. You know what I'm saying? Years were hard on people back in the 1700s, friend.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Those are some weighty years, bruh.
Yeah, bro. Some of those people who have that right now, people be like, yeah, my 30s were heavy. My 30s were rough. Rough days, brother.
A lot of days, a lot of dark days.
Yeah.
A lot of dark times.
Yeah, man. So that's what I'm trying to say, though, is that your relationship with the context of your life and then like how you're living is so 50 could be different for people is what I'm trying to get to also. Like what are we gonna, people have been telling me I look like 25 lately. You got that like 3 times this week. I'm like, I don't know what that is, you know, but working out.
Maybe take care of yourself, you know what I mean?
Lightly eat some grilled chicken, you know, I don't know if I had to guess. But also like, you know, there's people who are, you know, 35 that look rough. You're looking rough at 35. That happen to people.
Girthy years on you, boy. It's a lot of years. It's a lot of time and experience.
All that's just to say, like, you know, if your life is stressful or not stressful, it's kind of based on your perception of what you're doing with your plan and stuff like that and your context. And then if you can control on some level your stress and your perceptions and your anxieties, but also biochemistry will, like, different kind of blood pressures, different kind of serotonin levels, different kind of cortisol levels.
Yeah, we got different blood types.
Yeah, right.
Why we got different blood types, you know? What's going on with that?
What's going on with that?
Why are some people right-handed versus left-handed? Why would just like both have both hands? You know what I'm saying?
Disproportionately, left is.
Why is there a dominant force?
If you're a left-handed basketball or football player, you have a higher odds of making it to college. What's that? I don't know what that is.
Southpaw.
I don't know. Some people say because nobody's really left-handed, so if anybody just becomes a left-handed person, that means that they're really like ambidextrous, and that would make you better at sports. Most people just have a bad left hand.
Yeah.
You try to brush your teeth with your left hand?
Yeah, that was one thing our coach tried to tell us to do, you know what I'm saying?
It's kind of hard, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
It makes me feel stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why can't I just,
This feels foreign.
Yeah.
Why does this feel foreign? What is this?
Like shoot a basketball left-handed from like the 3-point line?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, if you don't work on that, that's going to look ugly, dude.
Yeah, trying to throw with your left hand.
Why is that so bad at that? Why are you so...
What's wrong with you? Aren't you me? Aren't we this?
Why are we miles apart?
Come on, this is buckets.
Yeah.
This is a liability.
Yeah, you're a problem. Like they try to force you. Yeah,
what's going on with this?
You ever talk to your left? Just talk to them.
No. Talking to lefty?
Dude, in house, there's like a patient who has like he can't control his arm. This is based on like a potential real diagnosis.
His left arm?
Yeah. Okay. So like sometimes its left arm will get irritated and like throw stuff and he can't control it.
Wow. Just like slap somebody.
Yeah. His girlfriend.
Oh no.
For sure. In the episode.
Oh geez Louise, man.
But then the girlfriend figures out that it's the spray on deodorant that he's like allergic to and it's making him sick. And then the left hand is like thankful. So he's like talking to the left hand and you know, it like listens with this one kind of like brain disorder. I don't know. I forget the cause. Yeah. No.
Things happen.
You know, sometimes you gotta talk to yourself. But no, I don't really talk to my left hand like that. Sometimes I look at it, I'm like, please.
Talking to your left.
Finish, bro.
Yeah, it's weird that that's even a thing, you know? And that, yeah, we're talking about different bloods, different constraints within the life experience.
I think people are here for different purposes.
For sure. Absolutely. 100%.
Right.
100%.
Right.
It could be good.
Sometimes this world is built really like macro to micro. So like the systems that propagate all of this are like very deep and like meta secure, foundational. And then sometimes I think that like that's reflected in our micro. What were we talking about?
Different personalities.
Oh, blood types, right?
Blood types, yeah.
So like that doesn't really like make sense to us, but like the nature of the way that this thing is like beautifully orchestrated in a way that's hard for us to understand. For whatever reason, it probably doesn't even need all those blood types, but it just like does it just because it's like organically blooms like flowers. That's what like the Machiavellian golden number is like pointing to, is like blooming like a flower.
Or the Fibonacci.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, the Fibonacci sequence. With like
the exponential spiral.
Yeah, exponential spiral outward. It's also like the reflection of the Big Bang, you know? It's like I think there's something, I don't know what that is. How things grow, how things blossom, bloom.
How time expresses itself.
So I'm saying, do your 50 to 60, does that pass faster than 10 to 20? Because our perception of it, you know what I mean?
For sure. It's at least even like more of your story, or like a year whenever you're 10 is like 10% of your life. Mm-hmm. You know, and then I guess that percentage just mathematically does, it's like it gets smaller, so maybe it does have more, that fact carries some sort of factorization into the feeling that it's going faster because you've experienced more of it already, so you have a different interpretation of how to experience time even.
Yeah.
Whenever you're 50 to 60, 50 to 51 is different than like 10 to 11.
Gotta be.
As far as how it feels.
It's also like, how much stuff do you have going on? You can be living your life on fast forward, or you can slow it down, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's an optimum level there. But yeah, I don't want to be too busy to not enjoy this shit though. I feel like have fun is a cultural pillar. You gotta be having fun. People think I'm silly for thinking that.
Enjoyment, at least. Come on now. We need some sort of enjoyment.
If you go 6 months and don't have any fun, like that's not good for you. I think that's bad. I think that's how things could get bad, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have some fun. I gotta be enjoying this shit a little bit. Maybe just enjoying it too much. I can agree with that for sure. But
It's dangerous. The road gets slippery. Gets slick out here.
here's the thing, man, is like what's the optimum frequency?
Boop, boop, boop.
It carries a little. Sometimes you gotta lock in.
Lock in.
I could be having fun while I'm locked in.
Locked in and have fun. It's enjoyable.
But sometimes you gotta lock in and be locked in.
Yeah, you're lock in.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, it ain't sweet. Oh, you like football? Denzel Washington, remember the Titans? And PD's like, he's like, why are you smiling? He's like, I like football. Or maybe even says, I love football. It's happy to be here. I like football. He's like, you like football, huh? You like football? He's like, yeah. And he's like, you like football, huh? And he's like, yeah. It's like, oh, you think you like football?
Oh gosh.
He's like, well, I don't know. And he's like, you don't know now. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. And he's like, okay, that's what I thought. And then he's like, all right, everybody, we'll go ahead and put a name on a piece of paper, and we're gonna talk about how much we're gonna enjoy this football season. Okay? No, he's just like messing with him. I don't know, but it's also like him kind of saying like it's not sweet, you know?
Mm-hmm. You gotta know.
Yeah.
You gotta be all in.
Yeah. This is gonna be a lot. You're gonna suffer.
I'm gonna try to win here.
Oh yeah, you like to suffer? You like to self-sacrifice?
I'm gonna self-sacrifice to the best of my ability. Oh really?
Yeah.
The best of your ability.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna do? That's what's gonna bring me? Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like a good player. Like he does, you know what I'm saying? But it's still like a moment in the movie that sticks out to me.
It is the question, you know?
Yeah. Cause I want to be all like, yeah, let's hoop.
I want a good life. Yeah, I want to be a champion. You want to be a champion, son? Have a good life?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. The movie's so good. It's so good. Haven't watched it in a while, but
Body, the spirit of the champion, the winner, the victory. And that's Christ, though. Dude, have you seen like the video between I think it's Lawrence Fishburne, is that his name? Morpheus and Neil deGrasse Tyson?
I've seen the clip
Where
where
they're talking about the Matrix and the like Christ-like motif between that.
Yeah, that clip's good.
Like,
Play
that's
it right
dope.
there.
It's dope.
Yeah. Because Neil deGrasse Tyson is like, that's one of my favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
I bet I know it more than you. And Lawrence Fishburne's like, no. And then he's like, yeah, because like you acted in it. And there's some actors that don't even watch their movies. But I watched that. That's like one of my favorite movies. I doubt it's one of your favorite movies. I watched it a lot. So I think I know more about it than you do. And Lawrence Fishburne is like, okay, well then like, who's my character? Who is Morpheus's character? And like the Christ-like metaphor that is, all right, because I think deGrasse Tyson says that Neo is like Jesus.
Yeah.
And then Trinity is like Mary. And then Morpheus is like, okay, who's my character? And then he didn't know. And then he's like, my character is
John the Baptist.
John the Baptist, yeah. And then he's like, oh. And it like makes a lot of sense to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's he. It makes a lot of sense to me too when you're like, oh wow. Yeah, they're saying that, what's his name? The bald dude, the white guy. It's like
Cypher.
Judas. Cypher's like Judas.
Mm.
And yeah, when you put it in that context, it's one of the best stories ever told. If it really is the Christian story, you know.
Mm.
But I don't know if Neo acts Christ-like the whole time. It's not like he's perfect per se.
Yeah, he's just like working a job, and then also, I'm not sure what his job title is, but he's also doing some other stuff on the side for people. Some sort of coding equivalent back in the day, back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Some sort of technological stuff.
He does become convinced that the metaphysical fight against reality itself is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
And gives his all to that. He like kind of stops living his regular life completely.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, you know, it's not exactly the Christ-like metaphor, but it is. Jesus calls us to do that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in there. It's in there for sure.
Yeah, starts pursuing that.
It's a good movie. It's a
Yeah.
good movie. It's hard to.
And then dies and then comes back. It's like another thing, like a Harry Potter riff too, and like Jon Snow riff, like the dying and coming back.
Yeah.
It's like a thing in movies and in literature. You know what I'm saying?
It's the highest touching protagonist thing you could possibly do. That's why she wrote it into Harry Potter. Is it's like, it's the highest. It's, I mean, it's the Christ story. You know, there is nothing.
Story of stories.
Yeah, it's the story of stories. That's the
The
thing.
true myth, bro. The king of kings.
So if you think you're writing like, you know, heat, and you want to reach for that and try to do it in a tasteful way, it would be like the biggest dunk. Or in my, that's why I think it makes sense for Game of Thrones and Harry Potter to have that as a motif.
The Bible's heat.
And they got to hold that, you know, they got to really make sure they keep writing that for the character like Jon Snow or Harry Potter for them to continue to be Christ-like.
Truly trying to do that. That movie's dope, though. I remember watching the movie when I was a kid. I was like, this movie's awesome.
Which one?
The Matrix.
Oh, yeah.
Dope movie.
I watched it right before we went to Vegas last time, and it kind of messed me up. It's so hard not to think about your life in like this, like...
There is no spoon.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
If you've never seen The Matrix, highly recommend. It's dope. Super dope.
There's big sometimes you're cooking metaphysically, but there's big metaphysical serpents out there. There's basilisks and chambers of secrets. And so once you're kind of like out there, I'm up $1,000 in Vegas just cooking with my little metaphysics popping. And then you just like, a big whale in that ocean comes swims by you and you're like, oh, I'm broke. You have fast. Same thing with trying to be like these freaking spiritual forward, you know, real, what's the right word? There's these like, you know, girls that want to read tarot cards and be real like, you know, I'm
Mystic with it?
Yeah, I'm real mystic and spiritual and, you know, I'm into spirituality.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
There's supernatural stuff there.
Okay, for sure.
It's like mind-blowing and awesome and worth the wonder.
Incomprehensible.
Incomprehensible.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. Super interesting.
Definition.
I'm fascinated. Fascinated. Okay.
If it was fully comprehensible, it wouldn't be interesting.
Yes. And I'm into spirituality. Like I'm saying, like I spend my life, potentially my whole life studying these things, you know? From luck to karma to Christ-like energy to every natural thought you would have just as an American kid growing up. But you shouldn't play with it like that. That's a bad way to go about it. It's not just like it's a door that you're opening. And then the blood of Christ protects you. And even then, you probably shouldn't go looking in deep, deep water you're not intended to go look for. Just casually playing with tarot cards and stuff like that. That's not good. That's not good. I don't like that. Hurts my heart.
I would never.
And you can't be like, in the name of Jesus, I want to tell you right now, you shouldn't be doing that. I guess you could. I just felt that actually. Yeah.
Don't play with that stuff. Just don't play with it.
It's not worth it.
Don't play with it. Teach their own, I guess, but there's like I guess it is true because I heard like the story of Jesus is that like sort of crazy. Whenever we're saying like there's like whenever the tarot cards are touching onto an energy, there is like a energy that's deeper than the physical representation of what that thing is in our matrix. There's something deeper going on there. And the Jesus story is the highest, beyond comprehensible for the good.
Yes. Yes. And it makes sense. And it makes sense to all of us and our subconscious and our soul.
Mm-hmm.
That you want to help the grandma cross the street, or that you fucking shouldn't cheat on your wife, or that like you want to help a lost kid find their parents. Like there's like this, it just makes sense, you know what I'm saying? And
it just makes sense.
And we turn a blind eye to this thing that just makes sense to us. That's like the sin nature.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes sense to everybody. So that's what I'm saying. It's not really an argument. There's no argument. Every knee shall bow, for sure. It's the same way if we all see something gross happen, like someone get murdered, we're all gonna, and everybody sold that witness that you should have the same account unless you have some ulterior motive, whatever. But like, then if Jesus were there being like, well, what did you see? You like football? Like, no, every knee shall bow. Like, we're gonna be, oh, no, this is what I saw. He killed him, you know? Like, that's the thing about the truth being the truth.
Truth of the story, man.
Yeah.
I was getting off on a tangent. Where were we going before
I forget
that?
what we were talking about, but praise Jesus, bro. I mean, it's. I was
what it
talking
always
about the
comes down
tarot
to.
card stuff. Just
Yeah, don't play with it.
Don't play with it,
with
bro. Get yourself some distance.
Get some distance.
There is a way to engage with life.
It's powerful. That's the thing.
It's fascinating.
The story of Jesus and like the tarot cards. It's like powerful. Be careful. And Jesus is powerful in the proper direction. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't go powerful in the proper direction, like you create powerful in the. Your default is like the rebellious direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're not consciously trying to filter your life and like where you're filter the lens through which you're experiencing things.
Yeah.
Through the axioms in that book. It's a book of axioms. It's heat. It's just heat. The interconnected nature of it. Like the true art of it. And like some of the callbacks and some of the foreshadowing and the echoes and all this stuff and all the interconnected the prophecies and everything.
It's impressive.
It's like, yo.
It's an impressive
If one person wrote that, that's like ridiculous heat, bro. Ridiculous. But it wasn't. It was multiple people across different languages and time. It's like, yo, that's crazy. It's heat. It's just good art.
Yeah, you don't comprehend it if you don't appreciate it.
It's impossible.
Did you see Wesley Huff is teaching on
JBP?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw like a snippet of him doing some Peterson Academy stuff.
His class is historical accuracy of the Bible. Taught by Wesley Huff.
Trust in the historicity of it. Come on.
Go watch that class and tell me what. I mean, I'll go watch it and I'll go tell you what.
He can speak for me. I don't gotta say he can speak for me.
It's like when we go down that rabbit hole, I'm just like, see Wesley Huff and then come back to this conversation because you can't, like that line of thinking isn't valid.
Go refute it. I want to see you refute it.
I just want to call. I play my trap card, Wesley Huff.
Yeah, I was like, listen to Josh Howard channel, LA Free Pod, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, man.
It's tough, bro. It's tough, bro.
Speaking for me.
And their perception, y'all's perception, everyone's perception of their life, of reality. First of all, it is your reality. And then secondly, like whatever you perceive luck to be or perceive karma to be or like these acts, however you like are defining these things that have happened in your life that create the context and the lenses that you see life through. Like that's ultimately up to you. And it is powerful to use these spiritual terms and to call on this inner energy. Like that's like when I was trying to send you Guitar Hero, like I thought about what it felt like to shred. And then I like put myself in my mom's living room shredding and like really like felt it and then tried to feel good about it. Like, oh, I'm crushing. And then I also tried to like send that to you, like up here. Okay. I don't know what the fuck,
Up here.
I don't even know. What?
I know the thing that we both don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
But have you ever done that with other things where like you feel it here first? Like you ever want to praise someone and you like feel like an energy or something that I'm like cultivating or brewing up or like I'm really trying to manifest this right now for you. Like I believe in this. Like I feel like a wizard here sometimes, I'm not trying to cast a spell per se, but I'm like trying to use my prayer stat to like intercede, You ever prayed to be on time somewhere? Said that prayer a couple times.
Yeah.
Works pretty much every time. But I don't want to just be like every day, like, Jesus, help me not be late. There's times where I'm like, I need this one, I need some help.
And your proper sacrifice is enough. It's enough. But then there's something in you that doesn't want to do that proper sacrifice or has a hard time identifying that proper sacrifice. And then gets bitter and resentful about it.
It's hard because, like,
you're gonna kill you?
Well, yeah.
And then they're gonna kill you?
If you could make a worthy, it's like, that's such a...
See, kill and destroy.
That's such a stretch for any of us to be doing so well that we would be in the Christ-like position where the devil would come to steal, kill, and destroy what we have going on. It does happen. We should get there. And that's the war that's going on. But part of it's hard because our imaginative process can imagine like a worthy sacrifice, like, you know, who we'd like to be and like what that would cost. And we can imagine that. But the problem is like we're sitting here on the couch and then that person that we imagine has a six pack. And then we come back to this person who we are on the couch, and then it's like, what am I supposed to do? Like crunches every night for like 3 months, see no progress, lose 20 pounds, still no abs, you know, adjust my entire life for 6 months. I still don't look like how, you know, like when I'm sitting on this couch and I think about this, my life's still not just overnight any better. And then that I think is like the deterrent that makes us just go back to like the flow, path of least resistance, with what we have to do to keep this thing churning, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But that's the cross. That's the thing, is to travel into time with just your incrementally better every day. And then have that hope, like you talked about, that things can be better, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And you're pushing the matrix that way. You're pushing the frequencies that way. You're the resounding heartbeat of things can be better every single day. And then the organism becomes better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we all can agree that we can identify a story where things are better, like the idea of better itself. It's like you can have someone think on for like 5 or 10 minutes. How could your life be better in like a couple different ways, as far as whatever things are limiting you? And we know kind of a general direction of where that would look like in our interpretation of what would be better. You know, like I guess what we're doing in that is like giving or like identifying the term as better as something that brings us some sort of positive emotion or pleasure. And it's like better or less suffering than was previous in our interpretation of time, because things are either getting better or worse. So like better and worse are real. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes. Because it's like sometimes life will be better if I didn't work this shift better, but not better, or like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I would enjoy my now a lot more, or I could decide to suffer and work the double, and then my later would be better, perhaps.
Yeah.
Is that the better?
Sacrificing the now for the later.
Yeah. At a proper proportionate rate.
If you do that properly, it will be enough. And that takes something outside of yourself, because to truly do it the most properly, you can't do that. But there was someone who could, for real.
That really put it on the line.
Who really did it, though?
That was really posting people up, posting up demons, dunking on them. No misses in the clutch.
He was able to give his homie some power, let him dunk on some people real quick.
Tossing alleys,
post resurrection, post reascension.
I think he was pointing towards what ultimately could be achievable if any of us could have been Christ-like, which we can't because we're sick.
We have sin, for sure.
Yeah, but
we're sinful creatures.
The same way, like touching his cloth is enough to heal you because of the faith in that kind of power, or the same way, like having the kind of faith that where you know Jesus could just say aloud, your situation could be fixed. Just having that faith fixes the situation in and of itself. I think Jesus is like trying to tell you that. It's like even you, like just like that, just that faith. You know what I'm saying? Move a mountain for real. It's like, but then we're in 2026, like sitting on a couch. But I feel that like sometimes it's not always like I should be praying to move a mountain right now. But with that power and that authority, it's like you're still in the context of your life.
Yeah.
Then what? You know what I'm saying? It's like the content of your life is what? How do you move forward towards what?
I think whatever you need to find out how to work. I think we've mentioned that before on a pod, or like just like identifying the proper work for you. That's good for you and everybody around you, like your proper story that's kind of carved out for you.
Yeah.
And damn, I forgot what was the initial question.
It's like within the context, like you have the authority of Jesus Christ, and then you're placed in the context of your life, and then where should you move towards? What should you go towards? How do you fill the content of your life in a maximally valuable way?
Yeah, I think I've thought of this before, as far as I also added the like knowing God more well and making God more well known. I think is one that I've heard before. That's like the most important thing in your life. and it's going to take your entire life, and there's no stopping. And it's inexhaustible. It's a way of life that has to be accrued and has to be developed.
Mm.
I think that's the thing that has to go in tandem, or maybe be the foundational support of what you do on top of that. And what you do on top of that's like your day to day, how you're gonna survive, take care of this thing, keep this thing going.
That's good. Just do that in tandem,
And
and then let life bloom from that place.
yeah, developing that, I think will result in the story of your life. Yes,
Yeah,
the adventure of your life.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Biblical motif, man. Abraham, man.
It's beautiful.
JBP be talking about it, man. He's back on the pods. Listen to another one today.
Come on,
He's hitting, bro. I was like, yo, this is the guy right here, bro.
that's the guy.
That's the man. He's hitting it, bro. He's like our modern day Nietzsche, bro. And it's cool because we could like, if we were far away from him or from like some of the greatest minds in the past, you know, if you like didn't live near some of like Aristotle or whatever, or
No.
you couldn't travel there, like we can just get there with digital media now.
That's awesome.
So I was like listening to a podcast of this guy. I was like, this is diff. This is diff. He's got different energy.
We held it down.
Jordan Peterson since like 2017, 2018, bro. Major influence. Amazing person, as far as what I'm concerned. But yeah, dog. Historicity of the Bible. Wesley Huff on JBP. It's dope. That is dope.
Yeah, I would love to go to JBPU. Eventually, we'll hit that tier up. Do some cool stuff like that. Do some cool stuff. But
Talking Wes Huff.
yeah, I want to get that guy on the podcast for sure. And I think we're doing a good job of dancing with the rhythm of the
We're trying
night.
to blend it.
Yeah,
Throw it in a blender.
yeah. Going where we're called, trying to serve, trying to be a good, positive person, good at my job, good competency, and then point to Christ.
Whenever you get the opportunity,
Yeah,
point to Christ.
and just cook. Just
You
let
gotta
us
live your
in
life
for
though
fun.
too. You're real. You exist. But
That's
at
like
the
how
same
else
time,
can-
you don't.
You don't until you do. Until you do. Holidays, you're like, I exist.
I'm here for real, dog.
Yeah, you know you exist.
As far as I'm concerned.
It is real, like you were made. But at the same time,
Destined for a great story.
you're currently inhabiting a shell of an ego that exists because of the constraints of a season of your life that within the perspacity of your own context is here and gone so fast it's hard to even remember what you felt like in third grade. What? Like, then you remembering how you felt in college, it's like you can get kind of close, kind of remember something. Sometimes you'll smell something or hear a song. It takes you back there in a flash. Then it's fading. And you're in this context right now.
On to the next thought.
This context is here and gone as well.
Goodbye. Yes, bro.
All you can do is aim upward.
Just aim up. Just ask for the ability to do your best, to offer the most proper sacrifice to the highest good, and hope that you can find that, identify that, and then do that. And if you do that truthfully enough, then you will be accepted. It will be accepted. It'll be proper sacrifice.
I feel inclined to tell people that like these sacrifice games get better with time. Like the dieting gets easier.
And it never ends. That's the other thing, too.
Right.
You always got to do it. It's always there.
Yeah.
That's what the game is, to a
Yes.
degree. It's
Yeah.
always there.
But it's like with the nutrition stuff, like I'm just in there. I'm not even thinking about it. It's just chill. It's fast. Eat some peanut butter. Eat some yogurt. Have some grilled chicken. Don't even think about it.
Yeah, we haven't had like a dessert in a while. Pretty much all summer, so like a month and change. And like, yeah, it's just different mental association with it now. Like after a month of doing something, you're like, okay, like it's like a breaking a habit, whatever we identify, whatever those words are pointing to.
Yeah.
There's like a thing that's going on. It's control this thing that's going on, and like, you know what I'm saying? You know, you feel me? It's called it's not the word. I lost it. What was it?
Ice cream in a movie at night. like a neuro association with the foods that we're consuming.
Yeah,
but then-
changing your mental associations over time. Like there are these things that are going on in the mental realm that are controlling this, and then if you like operate and try to change this, it'll change some of those.
Yeah.
Haven't had dessert in a long time, so now like the urge of the dessert or like the dessert impulse is like maybe it's been fired enough times in me, or like just saying no enough times for me to have a different no to yes ratio or like a strength to that connection in the abstract realm that's going on
Yes.
that we all agree is going on,
Yes.
like habits.
And ultimately, at any given moment, you have full control over a decision that you make. That's like the Neo thing.
Mhm.
You're in the Matrix, though. Like, you don't eat ice cream, don't eat the fucking ice cream. So, you know?
Mhm.
And there's cool things, too. I feel like once you make a lot of chaotic decisions for your Matrix, like you make a bunch of healthy choices in a row, like you end up like rattling the cage. Like your odds of a lucky hit get higher because there's a lot of chaos going on. You know, you're out of the normal, like the natural hum because of entropy gets slower and slower and slower. Sometimes like you can just make healthy choices, a bunch of them in a row, and kind of like speed up the frequency of what's going on. And then it's like lucky drop, boom, good parking spot. It's like sale on your favorite tacos. You know, cool stuff can happen.
Pleasant surprises, brother.
Yeah, we're trying to keep
Pleasant
it chill, man.
surprises.
Where you get a good
Enjoying
parking
this
spot
life.
and your favorite tacos are on sale. Who's mad about that? You know what I'm saying? I didn't win the lottery or nothing. But if every single day I get good parking and the shit I like's on sale because I'm just like a natural bucket with my little light frequency, you know, I'm not mad about that. Feels like that sometimes. It's nice.
Boom. Bada bing.
That's what I'm saying with the spirituality, with the high frequency things. There's some days where it's like, yeah, you make a good plan, solid plan. You got to believe. It has to be a good plan. That's the thing.
Mhm.
Like, can you actually identify objectively? And then maybe you can identify the perfect plan. And then you can identify that you're good for like 85% of that perfect plan. Then you're like, where's my backup fall off? If I don't make this timeline, I have this hour here to kind of recover. And then I can do the rest of the day like this for sure. It's like, okay, that's solid. Then I feel like you're in a position to be hitting your check marks, hitting your milestones, feeling good, positive feedback loops.
Mhm.
Hum. Like,
I'm humming. I'm doing something.
yeah, dude.
I'm moving.
You get in the car, your phone doesn't connect right away, the FM radio comes on, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know, don't stop believing, and you're just like jamming out for a second. Boom, life just gave you the rhythm. Stay here. Now we're here all day. And you cook.
Cooking.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where I'm at. I like spirituality. I like being in tune and in touch with myself.
Life is real, and there's a real transcendent nature of part of create, like some sort of abstract realm that is also real because we are in this thing for real, and there's something that's outside of this thing for real, and the interplay. And we all know that.
Yes.
We know that. Your imagination, your mind's eye, your dreams. It's like that abstract realm place, the imagination, our memories.
Yeah. It's a real question. If you sit down and ask yourself, like,
Are they real?
if they're not real, then not, what are
we talking about?
What are you going to define as real?
What are we talking about?
Yeah, you could be like, well, it's a science, bitch. Like, I grew up, the only thing that is real to me is neurons and protons, electrons, chemicals.
Accelerating them,
Yeah.
smashing them together.
Yeah, that's how you, I don't know, man. Like, people can be crazy, you know? Some people are psychopaths.
Going in, going out.
But yeah, that's all I got. If I'm sitting on the couch and try to figure out what's important, what's worthwhile, where are you going to dig? What are you going to...
I don't know.
Even then, I think you know deep down, like, goodness, even if you didn't have any goodness around you to lean on, these stories or memories or anything like that, terrible childhoods, house people, still think you know on a subconscious level. It's miraculous to tap into that and pursue that and manifest that around you. It's miraculous. No doubt.
Life changing.
But Jordan Peterson will have you convinced it's the only thing worthwhile. Only thing. How do you even have a narrative?
The gift.
You don't want to act gracefully and humbly while you walk through that somehow, praise God. You know? And yeah, it's so simple, yet so difficult.
Free
like
gift.
everything in life. But it's a wave too, that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, it is so difficult. But you can catch the wave where you ate a good breakfast and you worked out and you're at work and the day's flying by. Starbucks is on the way. There's only 4 hours left in your shift.
You're offering your best. You're doing your best. You're trying to have a hop and a skip in your step.
And you're flying down the wave. Cowbunga, dude. Like, it feels good, you know?
We're vibing. What's up? Life's good. What's up? Y'all good? What's up?
That's real.
We're at the pool.
That's like all I've got. I don't know if that's like what Jesus made for me or God made for me, but it's like life can be hard and a big wave that could fucking just flip you over, you know? But every day is an opportunity to just like catch that thing. So, and I don't know if we just do we just surf? Is that all we're here to do? Is surf? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Is this not
Yeah. Serve and surf.
serve and surf?
We're surfing.
Love my baby.
Serve yourself, serve your family, serve your community, serve your church.
Yeah.
Especially yourself and your family. That's definitely like where you're, you exist. Like take care of yourself, literally.
Yeah.
That's just service, work, self-sacrifice in the proper direction. That's what we're doing here anyway. Story as old as time is whenever you do it in a way that looks heroic. When the limitations are at their most negatively optimized for the deepest despair and destruction. The night is the darkest, and then you bang a couple threes. The city's going up.
Hope.
One thing that
Hope has been inspired.
The New York getting that comeback, that's like don't want to be on the wrong side of that, but I'm glad that that story exists,
Oh, wow.
I'm sure that place was going up.
That's real mature of you.
I'm sure that place was going up, because I know that if it was happening in the Spurs Stadium, we would be going to the moon, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's bigger than basketball.
Yeah, you're right.
So as far as the narrative bigger than basketball things that we all agree upon that exists, the beautiful narratives of stories, I'm glad it happened.
Hell no, bro. Spurs in 5, bro. Spurs in 7, bro.
I have Spurs in 7 till the day I die. And I still believe. I don't even care. It's fine. It's the initial tragedy is going to spark the story of Harry Potter, dog. Come on.
They lost it. I'm still like, Spurs in 7. I don't know. It's not over. You never know. No, I'm with you. It is beautiful.
Yeah, they could go on a run if they play their cards right. They could really do it.
The young as hell. Shout out Carter Bryant's out there in the summer league, just killing folks.
Yeah, their draft picks are looking pretty good. The rest acquaintance, he's young, and they got the Tobias Harris gentleman. Dylan Harper, Castle. I'm not sure what we're gonna do with Fox. It doesn't even matter. We got
Just
Dylan Harper.
love him, dude. He's a top 5 point guard. Just love him. Everybody's. I don't know how you feel, but I feel like everybody needs to relax. It's fine. People make mistakes. It's a good story arc. To forgive him, to love him, come back next year.
He hits a big shot in a game coming up soon, or like in a big whatever playoff game coming. In like the story of if this team were to like have learned from their mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
He would come back and do that thing and hit a big shot. He hit a big shot in game 2, I think, or whatever.
Yeah.
But then he fumbled some of the bag in game 3, man. But game 3, but game 4. Either way, dude, the entire series, they were just fumbling the bag. Just fumbling the bag, bro. If we could just like secure the bag ourselves, we could beat anybody.
Yeah, it's weird how they flip a switch and like 20-point swing in the game. It gets insane. I don't know where that comes from.
I don't know, dude.
They pretty much score at will. Their shooters are on deck. They've got great centerpiece. If they run whatever offense they've designed, they really can't lose. Like if one, and also it's like, how much are they riding the vibe of who's hot? If everybody's hot, then yeah, they're unstoppable. But then when Champagne can't hit a 3, are they able to adjust and like just attack the rim more? And they would do a good job of it. They put points on the board no matter who's scoring them. It's crazy.
They're good.
They're good.
They're good. They're going to be good for a long time. So stories can be great. Abstract realm going up.
The NBA's going bananas with the
transcendence.
Trades.
Life is transcendent, and it can be transcendently good, or it can be transcendently evil. And that's what's going on here. And it doesn't look transcendently evil at first, and that's what makes it worse. If you saw where it leads, you would not fiddle with sin. You wouldn't do it. But we get it's like a little sliver. Enough to have some faith.
You see
Enough
about
to need some faith.
this much of what you can see.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's very narrow, but it's outside of us, and it's transcendent. It can be transcendently good. I don't care what you believe about anything. Like, it can't be transcendently good. Life has meaning. Let's go find some. Let's go get some wins today. Get some wins this week.
It's a lot of little wins.
A lot of little wins this week.
Just get little wins.
Keep pushing. We'll see you next week after some little wins. Hopefully this was a little win, at least in your little experience of life.
Thank you for listening to us.
Yeah.
I love you. And I appreciate you.
Appreciation.
Get a dubs today on everything.
Exploring life, culture. Christ is the answer. We're trying to figure out how to express that different ways.
Yes. You can ask for help. It's awesome.
Wes Huff. Speaking for us. Don't listen to that. Either way, we can go forever. See you, billion years. Peace.
Rolling through the city to the light show. Really ain't no telling where